Hello and welcome to another episode of the Winning Shopify podcast. If you've not tuned in before, my name's Nick and this is Tuesday. And on Tuesdays we post Nick's Tuesday Tea Break Talks. And yes, I'm British. Yes, I have a cup of tea and it is absolutely delicious. Before we dive in, I'm drinking ginger tea today and I haven't listed out the health benefits like I did with some of the other teas, but it's delicious and it's got loads of good, it even helps with weight loss. And I think almost all of us want to lose weight. Some people need to gain weight. We have very different bodies, very different lives, and that is absolutely fine. But if you're trying to lose weight, this is good for it. It's good for digestion and a whole range of other things. But anyway, if you're not tuned into one of these things before, they're quite short and snappy. I'm going to go through some of the Shopify news, something from our partners, some learnings from the agency, a few updates going on. And then, I've made my own word. It's called a Quivier. We're going to do a Quivier, which is a question about a piece of trivia, which is quite exciting. I have submitted a trademark request on that as well. And they said, what evidence have you got? So I sent them some links to the podcast. How exciting. But before all of that, I've got a quote of the week. And yes, I'm holding my phone because all my notes are on my phone. So, And if you want the notes, send me a text or listen to this. There'll probably be a transcript as well on most of the platforms we post this on. We've got a quote this week from Spec, my agency. This is one of our mantras, something that we like to follow. And I can't remember who it came from in the team, but we talk about this thing called helping your future self. Make decisions today to make tomorrow more fruitful. And we love that. You know, when you've got a deadline on Friday and you think to yourself, I'm going to get this done by Monday, Tuesday next week, nice and early, and have it done long before Friday to help my future self. Or actually, I'm doing a task right now. I know it's not going to be the last time I do this kind of task. I'm going to make a template out of this to, again, help my future self. It's about being more efficient, better processes. And so you're not constantly going, oh, I need to do that again and do that again and do that. It's like, no, I've done it once. I made a process, which is a much smarter way to go. So help your future self and think about that when you're doing stuff from now on. Right, Shopify news. I got 5 bits of other e-commerce news and I got 2 bits of Shopify news. There's quite a lot going on in Shopify this last week. Lots of new features added, things changing in Shopify. But actually, I thought, you know what? There's only 2 that I really, really want to flag. And the first one is really big. Shopify have launched a new thing called Shopify Launch Check. It's called Shopify Launch Check. It now checks your website using AI before you launch it. It will look through your theme, your products, your collections, and give you lots of insights. So if you've not launched yet, definitely check that out. If you're about to launch a new brand or building and designing something, definitely run it through and see what it says. I've not used it myself. I've only found out, this is Monday afternoon, I'm recording this. I've only found out literally this afternoon, having looked at the changelog it's there, but I'm going to try it. So I'll share on a future episodes in the next couple of weeks as to how we're using it and what benefit it's got and what kind of stuff it actually starts to tell you. And also, if you're like a lot of our clients, you're actually multi-store. So either multi-online store, multi-point of sale, or both, multi-locations, or you've got several brands, or you've created different stores for different countries, which be kind of silly doing that in Shopify this day and age. But anyway, I'm going to go into that now. But you can now use Shopify Analytics for multi-store. So if you're group brand director, who like a lot of our clients are that we report into, when we talk to those guys, before we've had to pull in analytics from lots of different stores. Now we can just pull it from one place and bang, there is your dashboard. If you're just one store at the moment, aspirations. Not only if you grow, you'll probably be making a lot more money. You can also use Shopify Analytics for multi-store. How exciting. Anyway, if you've not heard of British sarcasm before, there's plenty on this show. So apologies. That is me to a nutshell. Other news then outside of the Shopify world, we are at Ecommerce Expo next week in London. So that will be there. Where's my diary? Hang on, let's check the date. So next week, it's going to be the 24th, 25th. We're going to be in town up in London. We've got a big stand there for my agency Spec. So come say hi. We've also got a 2-minute challenge. 2 minutes, and we've got a big timer and a massive button. It's like a giant stress ball. So you can punch the button. Starts a 2-minute timer on a big screen that we got. And we'll spend 2 minutes finding PPC or SEO things. And we're going to try in those 2 minutes find 2 big things that we think will be holding back your growth, or things that are creating untapped growth that you guys can tap into with or without our help, which is quite exciting. Second point is there's been a huge move where Chinese e-commerce firms are increasing warehousing space in Europe, such as Temu, Shein, and JD at the moment, which is very, very interesting. There's been a lot of talk, especially about Temu recently. Shein has been around for quite a while, so there's some real competitiveness starting around pricing, product quality, and lots of other things as well. So just if you're thinking of expanding somewhere right now, maybe look at where they're expanding and certain markets they're in or products that are selling well on them, and either avoid them or just know, sometimes it's better the devil you know than the devil you don't. It's again competition against them. 18,000 orders per minute happened on Amazon during their Prime Day on average. So 18,000 orders a minute on average. And I've put in my notes in capital letters with 2 exclamation marks. Whoa, 18,000 orders a minute. I mean, just imagine your warehouse, whichever business you work for, imagine your warehouse right now and 18,000 orders going ding, 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 ding per minute. I didn't work out how many that was per second, but someone with a calculator can work that out. That is insane. But yeah, per second, it must be hundreds. Target in the United States, so Target, the brand, is reporting a 25% growth since launching same-day delivery. 25% growth for an organization the size of Target is insane. Well done, guys, whoever's been involved in that. That is amazing. Amazon have also started, this final one, Amazon have started prioritizing warehouse space for essential US goods, such as medical supplies and household goods, which is very interesting. I wonder, I won't read into too much. It's not a political podcast. We'll talk about e-commerce and making more money and marketing and fun things. But yeah, read into that how you will. Partner news. We've got a very exciting, it's not actually news this week, it's just a heads up. In the next couple of weeks, it's going to be a very, very exciting episode coming out with Shopify themselves, who came on the show. I'm super excited. It's about choosing the best apps. It's about how their app store works and some of the things that are changing in the Shopify app store at the moment. So definitely check that out. We don't get Shopify on that often. We try to be a bit independent. But also, it's great to have them on sharing a couple of, not necessarily exclusives, but it's new stuff. Not a lot of people are talking about this stuff yet, but it's certainly helping you guys make better decisions with apps you're choosing and understanding where Shopify will prioritize an app and where they won't, and what some of the criteria and things in there mean. It also features Seguno. So it was Seguno and somebody from Shopify that we had on there. Chris from Seguno is an absolute legend. He's the founder or one of the co-founders. We also will have, we literally have a meeting about it. When you're watching this, I'll be about an hour or two probably from a meeting, if you watch this the minute it comes out, about a webinar that's going to be coming out about Black Friday and Cyber Monday. A couple of our partners are going to be running it, and we're going to be a bit involved as well. So that'll be coming out very soon. So if you want to be the first to hear about that, either subscribe now if you've not already to the podcast. Also join our newsletter and we can let you know when that's coming out. It's going to be a webinar, so it's going to be live. It's going to be quite interactive. You can ask questions, and we're going to be talking about how to make the most out of peak this year. I know it's quite close to peak, but it's always hard when we're planning content, because if you talk about peak in the middle of summer or early summer or earlier in the year, people are like, well, I'm not really thinking about that yet, or people have already done it if they're in advance. So we're doing a bit of a last minute one. So if you're quite a big brand and going, oh, we've already got Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all stuff sorted at the moment, and peak's all kind of signed off and approved, still worth coming along and listening for next year. Some updates from the agency. I've kept it to 2, but 2 kind of chunky ones this week. Some weeks we have like 7 or 8. But before that, a quick sip of delicious ginger tea. And if you've got a drink, let's all have a sip together. Raise a glass to the beautiful world of ecom. Anyway, some updates from our agency. SEO, I've got a job for all of you guys on SEO. I want you to go to Google Search Console. If you've not set it up, go and go and verify it. It's already running, and Google's recording information about your website and your business. Go and verify Google Search Console. It'll tell you lots of stuff that Google knows about your site, like things you appear for, things you don't appear for. Actually, it won't show you anything you don't appear for, but it just felt right in the sentence. It will show you what you are appearing for. It will show you how much Google's indexing your site, any issues it's finding, page load, formats being wrong, all that sort of stuff. It's essential for any SEO that we're doing. So definitely go and verify that. But the job is, I want you to check on your Shopify store how many pages you have in this report. Click pages on the left and then go to what's called alternative page with proper canonical tag. And this is it flagging. Google's saying, this might not be an issue, but this looks like you're giving me the runaround because you're telling me to go and look at lots of pages. And then I see this thing in the code of each of those pages called a canonical tag that says, actually, don't rank me, rank a different page for the same keyword, same content. So you can have a look at me, but don't rank me, rank a different page. There's a reason why it does that. It's quite complicated depending on your store setup and how your theme files and things work. But we fixed this for a brand recently. We fixed it for lots of brands, but one that we did it for just a few weeks ago, we've had an 80% revenue increase in the last 2 weeks. 80% revenue increase since we did it. And it took Google 2 or 3 days, obviously, to catch up into what we've done. So definitely go and recommend it. The biggest issue here is Google spending time crawling lots of pages that you're telling it not to look at. And if you can filter Google's time down to just look at my products and collections and homepage and buying guides and blog posts, none of these other random pages or duplications of an existing page, Google's probably going to increase your rankings because now it's spending its time actually reading the content that is most important. Second thing then, and this is a PPC one to keep it nice and balanced between my 2 teams. Previous weeks, we've been talking about this, and we've had lots of different results playing about with the product titles in feeds. Now, this relates to the Quivier I'm going to ask in a minute as well, on a different topic, but the same kind of thing. We have realized that almost every single PPC contract we've pitched for or won in the last 3 years, almost all of them, previous agencies or internal teams have not done enough work on the shopping feed for Google Shopping. Now, why is that a problem? Well, it's a problem because you've got a lot of different space and you can put more things into your shopping feed between Shopify itself and between Google. So you're missing an opportunity to rank for more things or show for more things and give Performance Max, which is the main shopping, either that or standard shopping, giving that much bigger, wider mandate of things it can show you for. So the product feed, it determines what you appear for and it determines what your shopping ads look like. And when you kind of peel back all the different layers of Google Shopping, there isn't really anything else to it. It's someone searches something and I appear. And then when I appear, what do I put in that appearance? And the feed drives both of those things. We did get asked by a lead a few weeks ago, which we've now signed. They've now a client. We got asked by them, go on, hit me with the stat. If you had to add up just based on the Google Ads change history and the state of the feed, how many hours a month do you think I'm getting in terms of service here, excluding calls and stuff? Just how many hours a month am I getting of them actually clicking buttons? And we came back about 1.5 to 2 hours and showed them the things and the evidence as to why we thought that. To which they cried, saying, well, I'm paying £4,500 a month to my agency. They're not paying us that. Our fees are much more reasonable, but they will be paying that as we start to grow things over the next few months. So that shopping feed is super important. So if you've got an agency and they're not managing the feed, they're not really managing your Google Shopping. And you'll probably find they're spending a majority of their budget on Performance Max. That's very, very normal. And so if they're doing that, showing lots of shopping ads and they're not actually doing any work, I hate to say it, but there are lots of cowboys in our industry. So that's the PPC learning from this week. Is we're still quite shocked as to how many agencies are actually doing very little work. And then when we see like a positive ROI result, we're quite concerned about it. But that leads me on to Quivier to finish today's episode. This is the shortest one I've ever done. This is quick, probably because I've had so much coffee this morning. But the Quivier question, so it's a piece of trivia, but I'm going to ask a question about it and give you guys a quick moment to think about it while I have another sip of delicious ginger tea. What percentage of brands that we talk to and or pitch to have inaccurate data and tracking, or just generally have some level of tracking problems that we fix when we start? So what percentage of brands, and we talk to probably hundreds of brands every year, probably work it out, what percentage of those brands, and we've added this up, what percentage of those brands have a tracking, it doesn't have to be a major one, but they have some sort of tracking issue that means the decisions they're making are probably wrong? Give you a little moment to think about that. What percentage? And I'll give you a 5% leeway if you're right. I love ginger tea. So good. So refreshing. Also good before bed, ginger tea. Helps the digestive system. Anyway, I'm not medically trained or anything. I just read Google a lot. So the answer is 97%. 97% of brands that we've spoken to or pitched to or looked at their data in GA4, Google Ads, Shopify, even Shopify Analytics data, or their CRM data if it's lead gen client, 97% of them have had some sort of issue where we've gone, until we fix that, we can make lots of little tweaks and try and improve things, but we're kind of running blind. We don't actually know if we're increasing profitable revenue growth, which is the most important thing. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. We're going to have a full episode out on Friday if you want to tune in for that as well, where I will almost always have a guest. I think I kept saying that last week, and then last week it was a solo episode I did on SEO, which I do 2 of those a year. But yeah, we should have a guest this week. Please tune in on Friday if you can. If you haven't already, go to our website, wwspodcast.com. Our friends at the lovely agency Glaze are currently rebuilding that site for us and doing a new design on it, and that's going to be available very, very shortly. But go and sign up to our newsletter. We're going to be sending out some really cool content soon, and we have something incredibly big. The biggest thing we've done since the podcast itself, biggest thing we've done since that is going to be launching probably September next year, and I'm going to start talking about it soon. So join that newsletter. Be the first to hear about it. Thanks for tuning in today. I've been Nick. You've been great. Enjoy your cup of tea, and I'll see you guys again for another one of these next week, but I'll see you on Friday for a guest episode. Thanks a lot.